Have you ever worried that you feel like it's taking so much time to find your unique artistic voice and you find yourself kind of emulating and replicating other artists over and over and over? I'm going to talk about that frustration today and hopefully give you some real clarity on why emulation and replication is actually an important part of your creative journey here today on 5 Minute Mentoring. Well, hey, my friend, I'm so glad that you're with me here today on 5 Minute Mentoring. You know, I hear from artists all the time in our mentoring program that one of the things they want to find out how to do is discover their unique artistic voice. And I tell artists all the time, listen, your unique voice is not something that you find. It's something that emerges over time. And the more you walk with the Lord, the more you're in the studio, the more you do the things you need to be doing to grow as an artist, not only from the field and inspirational side of things, but also from the skill development side of things, that artistic voice will begin to emerge. But you know, emulation and replication have a big part to play because all of us as artists typically start out emulating and replicating things that we like, things that we see. I remember years ago when I started doing graphic design, I really had no training in that. I was working at a large church and I was like, they wanted me to be the creative guy as well as the worship leader. And so, you know, I had to start learning how to do graphic design for different things that we were doing online and in print. And I just remember looking at things that I thought were great and thinking, how can I take the principles of that and bring it into what I'm doing? You know, the thing that I found over the years is that artists who emulate and replicate actually will have a head start from other artists that just kind of do their own thing, because emulation and replication actually start, I think, as training wheels. They let you have a context for what's beautiful, what you like, what others like, what's selling. It begins to give you an idea of where to start. The danger can be, though, for us, and I think the nervousness can be for a lot of artists, is that, well, what if you never stop doing that? Well, if you never stop doing that, then you never find your own voice. And I think all of us have seen artists who are like, oh yeah, I can tell they just took a class from this person, or oh yeah, I can tell they just read that book and now all their work looks like that. Listen, that's all wonderful and good. We should all be taking classes and learning as we grow as artists and emulating things that we like, even replicating those in our own creative process. But the point is not for you to be another artist. The point is not for you in a negative way to rip off somebody else, you know, and take their ideas. The point is that you learn from the process of emulating and replicating. The point of learning to paint the old masters is not so that you can paint old masters. It's so that you can learn the techniques and learn the style and learn the aesthetics of those pieces, what made them great, so that you can take that and translate it into your own aesthetic. I always tell artists that take classes from me, you know, my basketry classes, I always tell them, hey, listen, I'm going to teach you basic techniques. I'm going to teach you how to harvest materials. I'm going to teach you twining and plating, and I'm going to teach you how to finish the rims, and I'm going to teach you how to, you know, preserve the basket and store the materials and all those sort of things. But essentially, all that's just a collection of knowledge. The uniqueness happens when you take that and you begin to take your own inspiration. You begin to sketch and dream and experiment and play in the studio, and you begin to actually create work that is based on and inspired by all the things that you've done in the past, but they're uniquely you. Because, you know, the thing you have to remember is, for all of us as artists, you have gone through a long journey. You have looked at multiple thousands probably of pieces of art over the years and read books and watched videos and seen movies and heard the responses of clients and seen things from other artists that have inspired you. All of that has gone into your imagination. All of that has gone into your heart, and the Holy Spirit has moved in, on, and through that, and it all becomes a part of your creative expression. You know, the thing I think that when emulation and replication becomes bad is when you never move on from it. In fact, I'm remembering a time when I went to Africa for the first time and I was leading worship over at a huge worship conference in Nairobi, Kenya. Thousands of people were there, and I was so excited to get over there and hear the sounds of Africa and hear this indigenous music and all this sort of thing. And you know what happened when I got over there? The craziest thing, they were doing all American westernized praise and worship music. It was all the big, worship bands that you would know if I named them. Nothing wrong with them. But what had happened is they had settled for emulation and replication rather than using that music as an inspiration and as a jumping off point to actually do the thing that they were created to do, to create the sound of their culture, to lead the people of their country into worship in a way that uniquely reflects them. I believe that there is an aesthetic, there is a demonstration, there is a working out of God's creative nature in and through your life that is unique to you. And yes, it's inspired by all the things that you've been inspired by over the years, but that is not at all where you're supposed to stay. Keep pushing, keep experimenting, keep playing, keep developing your skills, keep being inspired, and be led by the Holy Spirit to allow your uniqueness to evolve and emerge over time. If you do that, my friend, you're going to be really, really, really blown away by the things that God begins to do, not only in you, but through you as an artist in His kingdom. I love you, my friend. Let me know how that goes for you. Comment below. Leave me a review on the podcast. Email us. Do whatever you got to do. I just want to know that what we're talking about here on 5 Minute Mentoring is a blessing in your life. So I'll see you next time. And remember, until next time, you were created to thrive. Bye.